The market mix decisions will be followed by decisions on product, pricing, placement, and promotion. The first decision will be to choose between product and promotion adaptation, basically the choice between standardizing or adapting your strategy. Here, in terms of product and promotion, you have four options. The first, straight extension. In this case, the company used the same products and promotion, emphasizing the country of origin, in this case, Americas, UK, or Spain. And also, you're going to use some success cases to highlight why Hotmart is an amazing platform that meets the needs of digital producers to develop the business. The advantage of these is that it's a low cost and you provide global brand consistency and you achieve good level of efficient scalability. The disadvantages are that you're not going to adapt to local tastes, especially in case where you have differences in terms of cage distance and also you have different languages from home country to the target market, and also this can provide some misalignment with customer preferences. Generally speaking, this approach fits to markets with similar consumption behaviors and strong acceptance of international brands. The second alternative is promotion adaptation. In this case, you are using your standard e-commerce platform, but you are adapting your promotional strategy. In this case, the country of origin is still emphasized, but success cases are tailored to the local context to highlight why platform is relevant to host country producers, affiliates, and buyers. Here we have medium cost, better alignment with local expectancies, and increased engagement. The disadvantage is that you have additional marketing expenses and you have a moderate risk of misalignment even when you're trying to adapt. If you have a good level of marketing engagement and you have some level of cage distance, some differences between the two markets, then it can make sense to use this approach. The third approach is to use the product adaptation. So in this case, the company develops a new platform format and features especially designed for the local content creators. This strategy focuses on aligning with local preferences, consuming habits, and technical requirements, including the local currency payment integration. In this case, you have a strong alignment with consumer behavior and higher market acceptance. You have as disadvantages the medium cost due to product customization and possible brand fragmentation. And this approach can suit to markets with distant content creation and consumption habits or specific regulatory and technical requirements. Finally, we have dual adaptation, where the company will adapt both the platform and its promotional strategy in order to align with the needs of local markets. The idea is to ensure the highest level of customization for both product features and marketing communication. What it is will provide you as some advantages. You have strong market integration, higher user engagement, and your brand will be perceived as more relevant in the target market. But here the cost can be high and the campaign should be adapted. And also we have the risk of trying to change things that worked in the past. And if you're entering countries that are really different from yours, then it can make sense for you to adapt both. Returning to our example, we can try these four different strategies in the input decisions tab. You can check what will be the price for a straight extension, really cheap, promotional adaptation, a little bit more costly, product adaptation, even more costly, and then we have dual adaptation, really costly. In our case, since I am expanding to Canada and I believe that we don't have a lot of cultural differences, I may think about using the same platform and the same type of promotion. That will make sense. So probably what's working in United States will work as well in Canada. So I'm going to reduce my risk by investing less. So I'm going to use straight extension. The pricing strategy can be defined in three groups. First, you can use skimming. So in this case, you focus on high-value courses, specialized training programs, and certifications that appeal to professionals and niche markets. This case ensures highest revenues and strengthens premium positioning, even if it limits mass adoption. Partly, this can be effective in developing markets with higher purchasing power and lower price elasticity, where customers are willing to pay for exclusive content. In this case, basically your prices start high and gradually will decrease to capture different customer segments over the time. You may expect that your average revenue per user will vary between $60 and $90 if you use this strategy. The second strategy is the market penetration. In this case, you aim for broad adoption by offering low-cost, scalable info products such as ebooks, webinars, and entry-level courses. Also, the producers of content that will operate here are everyone. So everyone can go there in your platform. You invite everyone to produce content and sell it by cheap use with really cheap price in the platform. So, of course, this will result in lower average revenue per user, but market penetration and adoption speed will be really fast. This is ideal for price-sensitive markets with high price elasticity where affordability plays a key role in user acquisition. You may expect that your average revenue per user will vary between $20 and $40 for the period of 2024 and 2026. Then we have the third strategy, quality product leadership. This prioritizes high-value, high-margin info products created by renowned content producers and industry experts. You are now targeting premium courses, coaching programs, master classes, and high-ticket memberships. In this case, this can be effective in mature markets with high GDP per capita and lower price sensitivity, where customers seek transformative learning experiences. If you use this approach, you may expect that the average revenue per user will vary between $80 and $240. So let's assume that your company is expanding in the United Kingdom. If you assume that you want to have rapid market penetration and scalability, you might choose market penetration pricing. This will ensure you accessibility and adoption among a broad audience. If you have a different strategy, for instance, if you want to target people that are really rich and you want to have a focus in a narrow niche of market, maybe quality product leadership can be your choice. In my case, I want to have a rapid market penetration and to achieve high scalability level in Canada. In this case, even though the country is a rich country, I prefer to use penetration pricing. I may try to think about other strategies, trying for instance to achieve high quality products, but in my case I'm assuming that I should sell this product to a lot of customers in the target market. Now it's time to define your distribution strategy, basically determining how your platform will engage content creators and users in the new markets. We have three different alternatives to work with. First, we have intensive distribution. The idea is to aim for maximum reach, allowing any content creator to join with minimal restrictions. The idea here is to leverage a broad digital marketing strategy, including social media campaigns, paid advertisement, and SEO, to attract both content creators and users at scale. This will provide an automated support through self-service tools, AI-driven assistance, and community resources, minimizing operational costs. So the primary objective here is to spend fast, ensuring high accessibility and also a huge adoption across diverse segments. The second alternative is selective distribution. It balances reach and quality, but then you're going to have a balance between content creators who met specific criteria in specific niches or specific audiences or publics. Your objective here is to prioritize a finite user base And in this case, you have some support via training programs, creative promotions, and also other type of technological support. In this case, you have a combination of digital outreach, partnerships, and also direct engagement strategies to increase credibility while scaling. Your objective in this case is to ensure higher content standards, but also maintain some growth potential. The third alternative is exclusive distribution. In this case, you focus on high-profile partnerships with influencers, celebrities, and industry leaders who have strong reputations and loyal followings. The idea here is to have extensive support, including dedicated account managers, people that work really close to the producers of content, and also customers. In this case, on your platform you have personalized marketing, exclusive content access, and superior customer support, including network events and workshops. And the primary objective here is to increase brand prestige and position the platform as a premium destination for high quality content. In the Excel file, I should try these different distribution strategies, and in my case, since I'm planning to reach a large audience with a goal to achieve maximum scalability and user acquisition, then probably intensive distribution is the best choice. In this case, I'm aiming to achieve half the platform adoption and using automated tools and mass digital marketing to reach my audience. I can try the other alternatives, for instance, selective one and also exclusive one. As you can see, the cost will be a little bit higher for these other options. And for me, what really matters is to reach a large audience, so this will be my decision. Now it's time to choose how much to invest in marketing sales. This decision is critical because all your outcomes, like the number of customers that you acquire and also the average revenue per user, will be highly influenced by how much money you're investing. In the simulation, you can range investment between $1 and $10 million in marketing for each market. In this case, the level of investment directly impacts the sales and market penetration, but you need to take care because the return on investment will follow a diminishing curve. This means that if you are increasing your investments in marketing, there will be a limit that probably you're going to start losing money instead of increasing your profitability. So what are the risks here? If your budget is too low, let's say in this example, this doesn't represent our real case here, just to show what really happens in any businesses like this, but the boundaries and where the points exist, we don't know. But in this case here, the company with a really low level of budget, they will have a really low profit in the business. Once they start increasing the budget, sales will increase, but there is an optimum level, a moderate marketing budget that no one knows what is a moderate level. This is basically what you increase the profitability of a business. If you try to invest beyond that point, sales will still increase, but what will happen to your profitability? It will decrease because the sales will not be enough to pay your marketing investments. This is the big challenge, to find the break-even point, the point where it makes sense for you and the optimum point to invest to have profitability. From now, I don't have any tips on how to define the budget. What you'll see later that your budget you can have some idea if you're investing too much or if you're not investing too much based on two benchmark KPIs. That will be the customer acquisition cost and your marketing return on investment. So far, I don't want to invest a lot of money because I'm trying to reduce my risk. So let's say that I put like $5 million as investment, but then we'll be able to check if my assumptions and this budget, if they make sense to achieve good level of market penetration and also revenues and profits in the target market. Now we are moving to the last decision. In this decision, we should basically define what will be the type of agency that will help us. We have three alternatives. You can work with your local agency from Brazil to develop your campaign in the foreign market. This will provide you really low cost, but the disadvantage, depending on the cage distance or the cultural differences, probably this agency will be unable to help you in the target market. The second, this is the cheapest approach in most cases. Local agency, in this case, you hire an agency in the host country to develop your campaigns. This will provide you fit to local markets, strong media connections, and better adaptation to local cultural nuances. The disadvantage, the cost can vary a lot. If you're entering in high-income countries, it can be costly. If you're entering in poor countries, then it will be cheap to hire this kind of an agency. And then you can find a multinational agency. This agency will have the highest level of profit of fit with local market, also achieving higher sales potential and strong global presence. For sure, this is the best in terms of performance, but it's really costly. It's the highest, will have the highest cost with this approach, meaning that in some markets may be a little bit risky to use a multinational agency if you don't have enough customers and enough money to buy for your products. In our case, I can see here the example of using a home country agency with this cost here, or I can use a local agency, or I can use a multinational agency. As you know, I don't think that the Brazilian agency will succeed in Canada, and I don't think that the market is big enough to use a multinational agency. In this case, I'm planning to use a local agency to adapt my campaigns locally and help increasing the market penetration.